message and celebration today for Christmas. And we know that Christmas is one of the biggest holidays of the year for good reason. But the question is the reason for the season has get lost amidst of all our traditions, we're practicing every time, all this stuff. And wondering why are we still celebrating Christmas? And why is Christmas so important? No, Christmas is important because it is a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who came to redeem all mankind and called them to Himself. So yan pong dahilan kung bakit meron tayong Pasko. No? On that day, Christ, His Son, become a man on earth upang one day He would become the payment for the sins of the world, the past, the present, and future. So Christmas is a day of remembrance and worship. Okay? It's a day of remembrance and worship. Why? But what does that look like? So, ito po yung ating pag-uusapan sa bakit merong mahalaga ang Pasko and why we're doing remembrance and worship during Christmas. Why Christ, that was the significance that we will integrate in our celebration, the traditions for this holiday season. So, minsan nawala na because nakapokus tayo sa lahat ng bagay na ating pinaghanda. Mga regalo, pagkain, but we tend to forget the real meaning, the significance of Christmas. So again, I repeat, Christmas is a day of remembrance and worship. So how are we going to celebrate this? We have to remember first thing. The first that we have to remember is Christ was born. The reason that Christmas exists is because 2,000 years ago, a child was born, the Son of God. They call it the Messiah. Okay? Inaasahan po ng buong mundo ang pagdating. He was prophesied to come and no one knows. Para po malaman natin ang buong katotohanan. So Christ was born. Kaya kung ating matandaan, kaya kung maalala nyo in the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16 to 17, the most famous, na memorize lahat ng tao ito. Anong sabi niya? For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through Him. So yun po ang paalala sa atin ng Diyos. The reason, the first thing we have to remember, that Christ was born, and the reason that we start the celebration of Christmas. The second thing that we have to remember is this, that God's promise was fulfilled. Okay? Remember in the book of Genesis, chapter 12, God makes a covenant with Abraham, remember? That promising that He would make Abraham's name great. Remember, he was first called Abram, no? That he would be a father of many nations. Maging ama siya ng lahat ng mga bansa. And that he could be blessing to others. So Jesus was the fulfillment of that promise. Because Jesus came from, malala niya, let me read you the book of Genesis chapter 12. This is the covenant of God with Abraham. 1 to 3. Sabi niya, that the Lord said to Abraham, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So by sending Jesus, mga kapatid, who was a descendant, tandaan niyo, Jesus was a descendant of Abraham to earth. He fulfilled His promise to all nations. God fulfilled His promise that Jews or Gentile would be blessed. Blessed by the grace of God for the forgiveness of sins. So, So the children of Abraham are not necessarily his biological descendants. Baka ma-confuse tayo, no? Biological descendants. But these are his descendants in faith. Kaya nga, he was known as the father of faith. A father of many nations. So mga kapatid, that's second thing we have to remember. The third thing that we have to remember, the significance of Christmas is Christ's future. So, it is near impossible to fully understand. Mahirap tayo munawaan na to. Malaga ang Pasko. Kung di natin recognize what Jesus came to accomplish. Bakit siya dumating? Ano ba talaga ang purpose niya? Aside from being the fulfillment of the promise, ano ba talaga ang layunin ng Diyos? Kung bakit we're talking about Christ's future. The purpose of Jesus' birth, my dear friends, was to live a blameless life and one day lay it down, taking upon himself the burden of sin so that we could be saved. His birth prepared the way for his death and the redemption of all mankind. So malinaw pong sinasabi sa atin na ang isang dahilan kung bakit mahalagang Pasko dahil ito'y paghanda sa pagdating na what is the future of Christ? To prepare a life para sa ating lahat. Para magkaroon tayo ng buhay, ng pag-asa, magkaroon ng kaligtasan. Ang kanyang pagsilang ay ang paghahanda para sa kanyang kamatayan at sa pagtubos sa ating mga kasalanan. So, that's the third thing. The fourth thing is, we have to remember the generosity of Christ. Okay? The generosity of God to mankind. So, remember Christ's generosity. The reason kung bakit meron tayong mga regalo itong Pasko, panahon ng Kapaskuhan, because of the gift that Christ first gave us. Yung regalo una binigay sa atin ng Diyos. And one of the ways that we can do this is by caring for others. Christ gave us generously in the less fortunate that we can reflect. Pwede natin gawin. Paano tayo maging generous katulad ni Kristo? Pamagitan ng pagbahagi na meron tayo sa mga higit na ngailangan. So, the reason you give gifts at Christmas time is because of the gift that Christ first gave us. Tandaan po natin yan, mga kapatid. So, you may begin a tradition, pwede natin gawin ito, this year, and find a way to serve others with your friends and family. Share your gifts. Kaya meron tayong mga regalong binibigay, lalo-lalo na sa higit na nangailangan. The less fortunate brothers and sisters. That's the way you share your gift. The gift of love that Christ first gave us to us. The reason that He started to live because of love for mankind. So, tanda natin yan, mga kapatid. So, susunod pa natin pag-usapan eh. Next is, how to remember your family time. Christmas is important because for many people, this is one of the best parts of Christmas season. Christmas brings family together. Perhaps far from away places and provides a time to connect. Ito yung pamanahon na mga pamilya ay nagkakasama-sama sa malayong lugar man, sama sila. But during the season of Christmas, lahat po ay nagkakakita-kita, nagkakaroon ng panahon para sa bawat isa, sa bawat pamilya at mga minamahal natin. So ito po yung napakahalaga. I remember maraming dumarating ng mga OFWs that because they have time to celebrate Christmas. Almost 2 years na hindi tayo nagkaroon ng magandang pag-celebration because of the pandemic. But now, this year, God has given us the most opportune time. Kaya muli nagkasama tayo, mga pamilya natin, matagal natin hindi nakasama, nakaniig, karoon ng pagkakataon. At this time, we're celebrating because that is the reason why we celebrate Christmas. Remember, family time. Next, so celebrate Christ with your family. Thank God for this special time where you can connect with your family. This is the time. So, huwag niyong kalimutan yung mga kapatid. Tandaan niyo, it's family time, bonding time. So, kapag uusap natin ito, mahalaga yan kung bakit meron tayong Pasko. Sunod po, gaya pinag-usapan natin, remember, the reason that we do Christmas because it's time to worship. Bakit naman ganun? Magkaroon tayo ng worship store. May Pasko ito. Remember this. At the end of the day, we are called to worship. Make that your goal this Christmas. Make that goal. So take your eyes off the things that the things of this world. Kalimutan niyo yan. Just look to heaven. Make Him your focus in everything you do this season. Kalimutan natin. Just focus that there is somewhere out there. The time that we worship God. Okay? Kaya live your life. Sabi sa atin. Make Christ your focus in everything you do this season. Live your life in a posture of worship and give glory to the one who gave the gift. No one else could. That is what we call the purifying grace. Purifying grace. So focus. Kahit naghanda tayo, just always remember in this celebration, make Christ the center of everything we do in the season of Christmas. Because He is the reason why we celebrate Christmas first and foremost. So, let me end this day in the worship and I say in the book of Psalm chapter 63 verses 3 to 4, taken from English Standard Version. Because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you. So I will bless you as long as I live. In your name, I will lift up my hands. So mga kapatid, remember to worship God in all the things you do in this season of Christmas. That is one of the most significant reasons why Christmas is so important in a Christian walk. So let me end this day in a celebration. Remember this. The work of Christmas begins, but it does not end today. Hindi po yan nagtatapos dyan mga kapatid. Christmas does not end tomorrow. Hindi rin nagtatapos ang Pasko sa kinabukas. Christmas does not end with Lent or Easter Sunday. Christmas is God's continuing gift of God's presence with us. And Christmas is our challenge to prepare room in our hearts and in our lives. That the truly special gift is the new life in each and every one of us. Jesus has arrived and hope has arrived. Thank you so much for being with us and for watching our YouTube channel here. So thank you for joining us in the celebration of Christmas. Hope you have enjoyed listening and watching our sharing our message in this Christmas time. Just remember, the reason for the season is Christ. And Christ has arrived. There is hope in all the things that we have in this world. Just trust and believe in God. And if you want to follow our channel here, just subscribe and just click the button below, subscribe. And we will always be sharing with you this life journey experience here. Pastor G speaking with you today and greeting you all a Merry Christmas, a blessed day, and a coming year of celebration. Live with Christ and Christ is in you. Thank you so much. God bless you.